The main thing that makes Texas unique is that we're not connected to the rest of the United States.
Texas was allowed to maintain its own operating grid.
Texas never worked to intermingle with surrounding states.
Sort of an electrical island.
Here in the piney woods of East Texas, big plans are rolling along to build a $2 billion bridge of sorts. Not to cross water, but to connect the Lone Star State to another electricity grid. It's about a 3-hour drive from Houston.
Order up.
The folks here in Henderson, just like Houstonians, have the power failures of February seared into their memory.
It was rough.
Cliff Wilson is a native.
How long was power out?
A couple weeks. Most people were out for a little bit longer than that.
It's why Wilson welcomes the idea of reaching out for help in times of need.
Y'all need to get this line through here to make sure we don't lose power again during a snow apocalypse. Bring it on.
But just as the burgers at this popular lunch spot are made only with Texas-raised beef,
I'd rather keep it in Texas and fix what we have.
some, like Paul Rack, prefer to keep it local.
Just having our independence in that way is a big identity for Texas.
Texas energy independence, it dates way back to the days of FDR.
I want to tell you,
Congress passed a law to regulate interstate electricity, but Texas utilities chose to keep power within state lines and go it alone. It shaped the nation's power grid system as it looks today. The western and eastern grids are regulated by the feds, but the ERCOT-managed Texas grid is not. It's like an electrical island. Except for a few limited connections, it's largely isolated from neighbors and outside help, even in times of trouble like the winter storm.
This is our Patterns Operation Control Center.
Enter Pattern Energy. The private renewable energy company has spent a decade working to build that bridge off the island.
This project is designed to take power, into or out of the state of Texas.
It's a 2-gigawatt transmission line called Southern Cross that will connect Texas to the southeast, and it will do so
without jeopardizing the independence of ERCOT.
Attorney and pattern lobbyist Michael Jewell.
Congress has set a very narrow path of roadmap for how you can do an interconnection between ERCOT and a non-ERCOT region. Pattern and Southern Cross were able to thread the needle of the federal requirements in order to get that order.
The federal order gives Pattern Energy clearance to build a 400-mile high-voltage direct current line. And Texans should know,
We'll fund it. We're not looking to the ratepayers of Texas to pay for the cost.
Instead, Pattern's Kerry Kotler says it will work kind of like a toll road. Texas power generators can pay to move and sell power out of ERCOT, and when the ERCOT grid is in a bind,
This transmission line can help to keep the lights on by sending the power in times of need.
while 2 gigawatts would not have solved the massive failures of the February storm, it could have powered a few 100,000 homes and bought the Texas grid some breathing room.
It's hard to just say there's one single thing that's going to solve this, but Southern Cross, this transmission project, can be one of the key things that can help to solve this. So we can't just continue the status quo.
For as long as it's taken to get to this point, the finished Southern Cross project, we're told, is still about 5 years away. Pattern Energy hopes to break ground in 2 years, then construction will take another 3 before the bridge off ERCOT's electricity island is open for business.